Hello and welcome. My name is Melody and this is episode 31 of the Melody Crochet Knitting and Crochet podcast. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you're doing well. If you are returning, give you a great big hug for me. And if you are new, thanks for stopping in. I hope you enjoy. I talk about my knitting and crochet, works in progress, finished objects, things I want to make, new patterns that I might have purchased, as well as yarn reviews and tutorials for patterns that I put on my blog. I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please consider liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff as you feel comfy. Now, let's get started, shall we? I had a bit of a stitchcation, which for me does not mean I took a vacation from anything and knitted or crocheted. After our episode last week where I decided that I was going to put myself on a yarn diet and devote myself to a project that I had been frustrated with up until then, the kimono, I didn't knit or crochet for 10 days. That's not like me. I got a bunch of other stuff done. I'll go down the list later after I talk about my finished objects and work in progress, because 2 days ago the Crojo came back. I always say, if the Crojo goes away, you let it go. It'll come back. I know mine will. I love yarn. So, first thing I picked up was my socks. The 80s along over with Hooked on Owls podcast with Lacey. The first thing when she said it, she mentioned neon, and I thought slouchy socks. So this was the very first thing I thought of. I needed some slouchy socks. So this is my entry for the 80s along. And the pattern is called Letitia socks, but I altered it so much. I really don't think yours would look like this if you just made it from the pattern, because I know if I had worked from the pattern, mine wouldn't look like this. I altered the toe. I went down 3 hook sizes from a G to a D. I did use the size yarn that she suggested, but she wanted us on a G hook. No. So I went down to a D so they would fit. I worked up the foot in the stitch pattern that she recommended, which I'm so pleased with how that worked up. Isn't that pretty? Then I brought it in at the ankle. I should say the heel is a little different too. It wasn't going to work up the way I had worked up the foot because I needed a different number of stitches up the foot. So I went ahead, and once the heel wasn't working out for me, I just went back and forth. The last one, I think row 9, I did a short row. Then I just worked back and forth between what was next. You could say I worked in a U, then I kind of brought it here, and then I worked up back and forth connecting the sides of that U. So that's what I did. Then I brought it in just a little bit by decreasing at these points. Once I got decreased to a point where I liked it, where it hugged the top of my foot enough for my taste, I went around one more time just to kind of hold the stitches so they weren't slack at the decreases. As I started up the foot, I realized the pattern that she used, it didn't look a lot like, I don't know if it was the hook size change, but it didn't look like what she had in the picture. So I just did double crochet instead. I did double crochet V-stitch for 20 rows all the way up. Then here I started, this is the first sock. You can see I started right here, and it was going to be really, really tight if I followed directions. So I just started working all the way around a little bit more evenly. And that worked perfectly for me. Unfortunately, mine would be the only finished object with pictures if somebody looked at this pattern right now. I feel kind of bad about that. So I'll just put a note in my Ravelry project saying I made many modifications. And I fortunately did take notes the entire time. So sock number 2 worked up very, very quickly. I have used, like I said, a D hook. I went with my tulips, and this was my lime brown cupcake in Too Much. And it started off, I started off with 2 of them that looked exactly alike. So that's how I got 2 matching socks. So I have 2 of these left over, which is more yarn than I used in each sock. I don't know, maybe a cowl, maybe a shawl, maybe a virus shawl. I saw somebody, hey Dio, making a virus shawl today, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And how cute would it look with this sticking out of my rain boots and this as a shawl or a scarf or whatever up top. Bright colors in the rain. Good stuff. So I'm thinking that's what it might have to be. I was thinking mittens, But the yarn, the Too Much on the Lion Brand Cupcake, which is a lot like Lion Brand Mandala. I mean, the very same base, same thickness, works out the same, feels the same, slightly different, slightly softer transition from one color to the next, maybe this much versus this much kind of a thing. Slightly softer transition from color to color, but if you have to use Mandala instead, will work out very same. I love them both. I love Cupcake yarn, which is brighter colors, more maybe kid-friendly, you know, and Mandala yarn, which is a little bit more muted colors, but on the same base. I love them both. I love them so much. I can't even. I just love them. So that is my only finished object. So I picked up the yarn, I whipped out a sock, I'm like, yeah. I had frogged back my kimono, which was, I love this cotton in turquoise, so I had 5 balls of that sitting on my desk. And my Jaden Stitches blanket just did not work out. The Victorian sampler did not work out in my dark acrylic yarn. I was not going to see the stitches like I wanted to. So I grabbed my J-hook and I got to work making it in turquoise cotton. And I gotta tell you, so glad I did. Granted, this is just January. I gotta work my way up to August, but not a problem. I'm gonna enjoy it. I figure I'll do 2 months every week. So 2 6-inch areas. My blanket's only 4 feet wide. And that'll give me about 6 feet long by the end of the year. I'll put a nice border on it in white. I'm gonna do a white stripe in between each, I guess, stitch pattern. This one's called Little Fishes, and the next one is Primrose. I love the Primrose crochet pattern, and it's so calming to me. That's how I learned how to crochet, just with different patterns, making different things, just playing with a hook and paying attention. It's so meditative. I just love it. So, and the yarn, much better. The stitch definition, much better. I can already tell I'm gonna love this blanket. So that's what I did with that, and I'm using a J-hook. I'm using my tulip, but I like to keep my tulips together, so I'll probably just throw a note in the bag with this project saying J-hook, and then I'll grab whichever J-hook's nearby, because I can pretty much, on a blanket with Aran Weight cotton, I'm not going to be too picky about hooks. I can even use plastic or something. It's not going to be too snaggy. I like cotton for that. Now, that is the end of my work in progress. I do hope to do many, many more things this week. I've been so eager. I wanted to go over, I had talked to some people online, and somebody was interested in what I did during my time away, and I asked around, should I do a video about like what I did when I wasn't knitting and crocheting, because I was crazy. Just, I've knitted and crocheted so much for so long that when I stopped, it was just like my hands had ADD. So I made a list, and it kind of goes on, but maybe you could relate, and I'll put in pictures as they are appropriate. I'm gonna go in order, which is kind of out of order. So if I say anything twice, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna go in order of the list. I'll probably be redundant because a lot of them overlap. Now, the first thing we did was, well, I developed an addiction to finding different scents of naturally derived cleaners. Mrs. Meyer's, their surface cleaners and all their cleaners come in many, many, many scents. And I was watching cleaning videos, and these women, I do like to watch videos of people cleaning when I'm cleaning, and they had these amazing sounding cleaners, like honeysuckle and bluebonnet, and I'm like, where do you find that? So I started looking, and lo and behold, at Target and other shops, not at Walmart, but not at mine Walmart anyway. And so I was on the hunt. My kids say that the cleaning aisle is currently my yarn aisle while I'm on this yarn diet, and I'm not looking to argue. They're like, you're not going to save money if you just start buying cleaners, but at least I'm cleanersing, right? So while I was at it, I had redesigned my stash. I ordered this. It came in the mail. It's from Walmart. It's the Better Homes and Gardens cubbies. I went with the 3x4, and it holds so much yarn. It's holding the yarn from 2 bookcases and 1 or 2 of my totes. A lot of people are like, how do you organize your yarn? And I do it by brand. Some people go by weight, some people just go by color, some people, but I went by brand. have a Simply Soft cubby, which is double deep because I love Caron Simply Soft. I have my Red Heart Super Saver cubby. I also have my other Red Heart yarn cubby. I have my Lion Brand cubby in addition to a Vanna's Choice cubby. I have loops and threads from Michaels in their own cubby. I have a Bernat cubby, I believe. That was back and forth. I can have a cubby just for podcasty things, or I can have a Bernat cubby. I'm not sure. So, but Bernat's Yarn Inspirations, which is the same as Caron. So at some point, maybe I'll mix Caron and Bernat. Maybe. But it kind of goes like that. I also have a Hobby Lobby cubby as well as an I Love This Yarn cubby. All my cotton is still in a tote all together elsewhere. So that's what, oh, and I do have one cubby with a tote because that's what I liked about these. You know those wooden crates that you see at Joann's and Michael's? Usually they're out for fall. They're just like wooden pine crates together. Wow, something's going on in my tree outside. But it can fit one of those all the way in like a drawer, which is amazing. They're very large cubbies and I like them. How many times can you say cubbies in one podcast? Cubby, cubby, cubby. Okay. But so I got that together and organized just how I like it, which took a minute. And then I went over and I spent a day at IKEA just wandering around, which was amazing. Then I went, I reorganized and redecorated my bathrooms. So I went in, I got rid of all the clutter, all the stuff that we wouldn't use anymore. I replaced some stuff with natural stuff and just went to, I made so much trash that I filled up our trash cans and I have trash on deck from my decluttering. It's amazing and so much more space. And then right now it's over at Walmart and Target, it's dorm room time where they have all the brightly colored cute organizational and bedroom stuff and bathroom stuff for the kids who are going to college, and they have all the dorm stuff. And I go to town on that organization stuff. So I got new organizers for our closet. That was the next thing. I reorganized my closet, which was the black hole of my house. I've never cared too much about how the closet looked. I have yarn to work with, people. The closet, nobody goes in there. It's in the dead center of our house, which makes it our safe room. And so if there's a tornado or something, that's where we're supposed to go. And I always figured, you know, the extra clothes and everything were kind of like cushion if we needed extra safety. But I realized that that was just rationalizing. And I got new organizers and everything in the closet has a place and it's put away and organized now. My husband's stuff and my stuff. It's amazing. Oh, and then the linen closets. I reorganized and got organizers for everything in the linen closets, and it's all color coordinated with their room that they're in. And yeah, I went a little insane on that part. I don't think I needed to have that many organizers or organize that much stuff that in depth, but I even have like empty organizers ready for stuff in the linen closets just in case, so they'll be able to match. Yeah, I needed yarn. And then I found a makeup channel that I liked, Emily Noel, which I've watched for years but haven't watched for a little while. And she has very similar coloring to mine. And she had this palette. And then I had to hunt for this palette. And this was a good couple of days. I went to many stores just to look for this palette. I walked around them, of course, for a while because the ADD is strong in me. The figure 8 zone is what I prefer. But oh my gosh, and then I finally found it on the bottom shelf in a place it didn't belong. I was so happy. I waved it. Oh my gosh. But they're really strongly pigmented purples. Even the lighter colors are very strongly pigmented because I'm very olive. And colors just disappear, but the purple, she's similar, and the purple did not disappear. And I was just like, oh, that's so pretty, but it wasn't out yet. So I looked online, I looked on eBay, I looked on Amazon, I looked on Rimmel.com, it wasn't available, Walgreens.com, and then I went on the hunt, and because she said she got hers in a store. So I had every reason to believe that if I worked hard enough, I could achieve this same thing. And I did, but oh my gosh, there was only one. It was in the wrong place. I do not know how I got that, but I did. Okay. My pickles. So after organizing the yarn, I had put the 2 bookshelves in that was holding the yarn in my son's room, the littler one. And then my dog, after the puppy went away, I don't know if she had a physical reaction or actually caught a bug, but she got sick and she was having internal distress. And I guess her happy place is my younger son's bedroom, because she kept having internal distress in my younger son's bedroom. So after a few times, I just gave up and I just ripped out the carpet. It wasn't like insane. We were planning on replacing carpet anyway. We don't like carpet, but it was brand new when we moved in. Having 2 dogs in a dusty climate with lots of construction around that have free reign of the backyard, yeah, carpet's not the best bet. So we already planned to put hard floors in as soon as we needed to. So this was just kind of like, I'm not getting rid of that smell as long as that carpet's in this house. So she's a black lab, she's a big girl, and it was not pleasant. So I just took everything that I just put in his bedroom and we took it out, and I just cut that carpet out, cleaned up the floor, and I painted it white. And now we're ready to go pick out what kind of flooring we want, and I don't want to rush it just because of it not being in one room. So I just made it so it's livable. He actually likes it a lot. He loves having the hard floor again, even if it is just a cement floor that's painted. I guess that's trendy some places. So it looks really fun because it's just a really clean cement floor and it's just painted white. It's pretty awesome. But we will be covering it up when we cover the rest of the house. And then, oh, I got my curriculum ready. We're starting 4th grade for homeschool, and that was a big to-do. There's always the mom frantic guilt for the homeschool right before, because you want to get the right curriculum and make sure they're succeeding but challenged, and you want to know what's in the boxes before you spend a ton of money on them. And I know better. I love an online, simple curriculum that we can take farther when we want to and just cover the bases when we need to. And I know that this isn't my first run, but I always have to look at all the online reviews, and I have to go to the shops that sell curriculums and look at them and peek in the boxes and stuff. It's terrible. And I still end up getting, so after days of research, I still end up with the one that I know we want. And we started yesterday. We're really happy with it. And now I have to get all of we start in August because I like to take an extra couple of weeks off in December. So take pretty much all of December off. And then I like to take off 2 weeks also around my birthday because I celebrate birth month, as you guys all know. And that means a little less schooling. And I don't want them to fall behind just because I'm all about my birthday. The boys both have summer birthdays, so I would give him his birthday time off too, but my husband's right after Christmas, so he's already got big vacation around there. So it's just my birthday that usually ends up in school time. And I like to hang out and relax and just spoil myself rotten. I take him with me. We have a blast, but it's like schooling is definitely in the back seat right around my birthday. So I got that all settled in, and we started yesterday, mid-August, and it's going really, really nicely so far. We're doing Spanish. Hola. So what else did we get? Oh, I painted a Buddha to match that decor in my bathroom. There was a painting of Buddha, just a really simple one, kind of funny, and I love collecting Buddhas, so I put one. So I wanted one that I put it on my Pinterest forever ago, and I finally got that painted. Me and Amber had a painting night, and I put out a couple paintings, a cactus and a flaming unicorn from the Art Sherpa. I love to paint. And oh, World of Warcraft. I did a lot of World of Warcraft, so much that I burnt up my graphics card fan. So I had to get another one of those. But I leveled up, caught up to my husband, and started a new character on another server with friends, and I'm so excited to move on from there. There's a big update. So far it's been a lot of fun. I can't wait to do all the things. So there's that. And then, like I said, I threw out my kimono because just not inspired by it. I was at first, but we've only been swimming twice this summer. Weird weather. It's been overcast the last week. The sun is out this very minute, but a little bit ago it was still overcast. For the last week it's been rainy and overcast and humid. Not you didn't want to go outside, much less swimming. Not because it was overcast, not because it was 80, that's fine, but just muggy and just the weather swinging back and forth and the allergens in the air. Not a swimming situation unless you're in an indoor pool, and we're not. So, nope. I guess the kimono it just didn't sound fun to make. Didn't feel necessary. Maybe next year. But I was so happy to rip that out and not hold it over my head anymore, because I kept saying, I need to finish this. I need to finish this. And I didn't need to finish this. So I didn't finish this. So I frogged that. Now I'm making the blanket much happier. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And the last two are actually kind of yarn related while I was cleaning up. Now this came from Amber. She lent me an American Girls doll because on the groups that I hang out with, a lot of people make doll clothes for grandchildren and for their children's dolls, and I never had the dimensions down pat, and it's so hard to crochet something when you're working on just paper dimensions. So I got my hands on an American Girl doll and I get to make her some clothes for a little bit. I'm really excited. So I've had some stuff set aside, some drawings that I've done that I want to recreate, some Pinterest ideas that are not crocheted but I want to crochet for the dolls. I'm really excited. So she's going to be lavished with yarniness. I'm excited. And I also found my flip-flops. I have a bag of about 20 flip-flops, so I'll be ready for flip-flop crocheting, so crocheted shoes and crocheted flip-flops and sandals. I'm really excited because right now it's almost fall. Once fall happens, there's a whole crochet dimension to fall, usually blankets and shawls, and then before you know it, it is Christmas crochet. For me starts late October. Whew, and then it is Christmas, and after Christmas I usually need a little bit of a break, just for a week or so, and usually I don't take the break, but I slow down dramatically and make other things because my hands, they've just been go, go, going. A lot of cross training helps. I call knitting cross training for crochet, so I go back and forth and it really helps. So I always have something going on nearby me so I could just pick it up and knit, because the different motion really helps my hands. I know that sounds weird, and so does stretching, of course. Then, so flip-flops will be right after Christmas time, because that's when spring hits here. And our cold season doesn't last that long. By April, we'll be ready for sandals. So I need to get started now. And that's how I rationalize things, my friends. So that's my thing. That's my stuff. That's what I did this week. Thank you for sitting through it with me. Let's do a giveaway, shall we? Okay. Oh, and then we'll do a little what have I done. So the giveaway this week is because I had the 1,500 subscriber giveaway. Thank you guys so much. I'm really, really grateful to each and every one of you for stepping in and sitting with me and talking yarn with me, and just so much fun and open up so much opportunity, and I just want to say thank you. So I put together a little giveaway, and this one is this is an IKEA bag that I just loved so much. So I have the IKEA bag in black and white, and it's just the perfect crochet bag because it holds so much yarn and projects and such. And inside there's a connected notions pouch with a Velcro closure on the inside so it doesn't hurt your yarn. Isn't that pretty? And to go along with it is this bag set. Sorry for all the crinkling. We're probably gonna have crinkling for a minute. But it has this big zipper bag and then these little zipper pouches to go with it that match the bag. And I had to have that to go with it, right? And we had a little wooden sock blocker. It's a size medium, so women's socks, older kids, and just a nice plain wooden one. They smell so good. And then this one is what I dyed for you guys. It's just a hank of yarn in blues that I thought looked really nice with the project bag. So I hope you like that. I'm a terrible hanker, but I think the yarn's really pretty. It's a nice sock base, high twist, fully wool with a little, I think I have 25%, might be 20% nylon for strength if you want to make socks. There we go. The winner is Amber Austin. I did a random number generator, number 3. Hey girl! I already let her know, and as I was pulling the numbers, I left a comment and I let her know that she won. And while I was filming this just a second ago, she let me know that she received it. So we're already in touch. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. So thank you so much, Amber, for hanging out and subscribing. And if you guys are into yarn reviews, knitting crochet podcasts, if you like tutorials for crocheted items, simple ones from my blog, please feel free to subscribe, like, do whatever you feel comfortable with. Now, a little bit of what have I done. Despite the fact that it is true, I'm on the yarn diet, I had about 8 hours after I podcasted last time to go shopping. That's only logical. That's like having dessert before you start a diet, right? But the only thing open, it was a Sunday, only thing open was going to be Michael's and Walmart. Joann's is so far away that they would have been closed on a Sunday. I think they closed at like 6. So I got 3 things. A few things. Over at Walmart, they were having a big clearance for lots of yarns, but mostly for different colors of Red Heart Super Saver. And I'm an addict. I love me some Red Heart Super Saver. All of my character hats are Red Heart Super Saver, and I just think it's a wonderful blanket yarn because it holds up forever. We're talking post-apocalyptic forever. And the color stays so true, and for baby stuff, if you wash it one time, it turns out really, really soft. I have no qualms making baby stuff out of Red Heart Super Saver. So if you ever get a chance. So the colors I went with are Dark Orchid, which is one of the crunchier ones. If you have worked with Red Heart Super Saver, you know what I mean. Some of the colors are a little denser and not quite crunchy, but just denser. And some of them are a lot softer. So the Dark Orchid is definitely one of the denser ones. And then the Pool, I love this turquoisey color. It's called Pool. Oh my gosh. And all 3 of these are $1.25 each. Amazing. So I got Pool, and then this one's actually really soft. So this is the only really soft one. I'm thinking garment soft. It's really nice and squishy. And this one is called Jade. I don't think I've had this one yet. Have you guys worked with this? It's really pretty. I love that color. So I'll definitely be making something out of Jade probably this week because I'm excited. So I worked myself over then to Michael's, and I have recently had a Michael's haul, so I was pretty okay Michael's wise, but I did see Bumbleberry on a regular Caring cake, and I love a Caring cake. Oh my gosh, they're just so dense and Aran weight and fluffy, and they work up so fast. I've never knitted on them though, and I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do here. So this is called Bumbleberry, which is all these purples, and there's some speckles on the purples, which you can see here. And the regular Caring cakes, 200 grams, 383 yards, size 4 medium weight yarn, Aran weight, and has 20% wool with 80% acrylic. Still machine washable and machine dryable, but I like to lay mine flat to dry. It dries really, really, really fast. So why put it in the dryer when you can protect the integrity of those stitches? So that's about all there is to say on it. It does suggest a size 8 knitting needle, which is cool. That would work up really, really fast. What size hook? An H size hook. So yeah, I couldn't leave without it. It's the only thing I bought. Made me smile very big. I'm a purple person. Love purple. So then, this is a few days later. I'm on my yarn diet, right? I'm over on a drive with the husband. We're looking for a new city because ours is getting kind of populated. So we're not thinking of selling right now, but we're thinking of maybe a move in a year or so, especially since we know more people are coming. That's a lot of people. Our city was made for not a lot of people, but we're populating super, super quick. And we're thinking maybe a wander, not too far away. So we like to go for drives and see if there's any areas that we like. We went up north to a city called Sherman, and lo and behold, a yarn store. Right in that cute little downtown area in this super old building. I think it was made in 1870. It was absolutely gorgeous. All these big wood posts everywhere. And inside they had a restaurant up top, but we were all full. Downstairs they had a coffee shop and a candy shop and an indoor decor shop. Then in the back, in this little nook, she has a yarn store. It's called the Balanced Skein. Absolutely adorable. was wonderful. She was chatting with the husband and my little guy while I was looking. They have knitting stuff, they have crocheting stuff, nice assortment of both, and lots of color. It was so pretty. Good lighting too. I love to see good lighting in a yarn store. And I couldn't buy yarn because it was still so fresh. I was just on the yarn diet. So I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? So I got notions. Okay, this is the size K. I don't have a size K in the Clover or More, so I got that. Down below I'll link. I'm thinking I need the full set of the smaller Clover or Mores. What do you guys think? Take a peek if you want to, if you haven't seen them yourself, but they're 35 to 40-ish, and I think I need them. So I'm torn back and forth. And then I got some Knitter's Pride Zings, which I like these very much. They have a bit of a flex when you use them. I like to think of them as a poor man's signature needle, because I'm not spending that amount on knitting needles for signature. I'm just not that serious of a sock knitter. So these were $5, which is really good, and I won't worry about losing one, because if I lost a pair of signature, one of my DPNs that was a signature needle, I don't think I'd be okay with that. That would be a bad moment. So these are nice. They bend a little bit. If you don't like that, then you wouldn't like these. Most of my needles, if they flex at all, they go back to straight. This has more of an aluminum bend where it actually puts a little tension on your stitches and makes my stitches tighter, which is cool because I'm a loose knitter. So I like them very much, and I can't wait to break into them. I need to make myself a pair of socks. All the projects are running through my head. I am so excited to be making again. It's not even cute. So this week I need to start my shawl for the Romance Along. I have the yarn right here. I haven't had the nerve to cake it up because it's just so pretty. And I need to make something Christmassy. I'm thinking I didn't do Christmas in July. So I'm thinking I need to make a Christmas sock head hat or something to the like. There's a flax light now too. I might need one of those instead. But just a sock yarn hat for Christmas time, because at that point it's not that cold here. I wouldn't be in a thick wool hat just yet. So there's that. I need to get my shawl going for my own shawl along. I'm thinking of Irish shawl and something stripy. I was inspired today. Oh, so many things. Now that I can see all the yarn, now that I've organized it, it's really hard not to want to make a million things. So thank you for joining me. If you have any questions or comments, I'm always very happy and eager to answer them. If you would like to join me over on social media, all of the links are below. Come see us if you are making anything, and if you are making anything for the shawl along, come see us in the chatter. That's going on to the end of the summer. If you are participating with me and using your stash, come see me. I'll be making that very soon now that we have the name for that from the winner. Amber, Austin, oh I forget. If you want to see what the name was, I'll try and enter it below. Otherwise, it'll be on the thread at Ravelry. Have a wonderful week. I'm going to see you very, very soon because I have the DFW yarn crawl to share with you guys very soon, as well as the video on my tote of things that I've made that didn't get given away. Let me know if you have any suggestions for videos. If you have anything that you've seen and I can take part in, I would love to hear about it. Have a great day. See you next time.